I think Invis is becoming the new support to hate on. Guys, we need to talk about this because as of right now, the support meta in Marvel Rivals is really cooked. Okay, as a support player, this is probably the worst time that you're having in this game right now. So, first, let's take a look at what this guy is saying in his post. Okay, there's been a sudden spike in the amount of verbal abuse I get on Invis, which wasn't present before, and I'm seeing a lot of negative posts about her on Reddit. So I guess some content creator has been shitting on us or something. Pretty much every match today was someone shouting at me despite me being ace and getting MVP with most kills. Same kills as DPS and second most damage blocked. Just a heads up, since it will only get worse as more of these shitters here about are all doing less healing now. Alright, so let's see what's going on. Invis woman, heal your team. She is, and there are 5 others beside. Alright. I'm in the high elo lobbies right now and I can't play Invis without someone telling me to switch to Luna. There are too many people trying to play meta game instead of learning how to change playstyles. And if you guys have been playing this game, then you will know that this is kind of true. People don't want a few specific healers on their team. They only want those 2 and 3 healers. I know what you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Which healers I'm talking about. People only want those 2-3 healers and they don't want anybody else on their team, right? The situation is not good, and this is resulting in support players being forced to play 1 or 2 heroes. This is not the same for DPS because DPS players have so many choices, right? Almost every DPS works. Not many DPSs are absolute garbage. I mean, some of them have become nerfed, like Iron Fist is not really that good anymore, but he's still not unplayable. Okay, you can still get a lot of value out of him. But in case of healers, the situation is so bad that some healers just feel absolutely useless in a team. And I knew something like this was gonna happen. This has happened in Overwatch and in every single hero shooter game or any hero based game in general. What happens is when the game first comes out, people are really excited. There are many characters to choose from. So everyone is playing different kinds of characters. Everyone is experimenting different kinds of teams. But then a few months pass by, a few seasons pass by, all right, people learn more about the game, the player base matures, there are a lot of content creators who give their opinions, and then a solid meta kind of starts to form, and then everyone just starts picking the same heroes every single game. Every ranked game, the same heroes are going to be banned, the same heroes are going to be picked. It's like you're playing mirror matchups one after the other. And this happens in every hero shooter. This is not something you can avoid. It happens in MOBAs as well. And that is why you have nerfs and buff patches, right? Unfortunately, the situation with Marvel Rivals right now is some heroes' kits are just so broken that even if they nerf them, they are still going to stay very much stronger than the other characters, especially when it comes to healers. Characters like Luna Snow, characters like Cloak Dagger, they are just going to be OP no matter what they do, unless and until they completely change their ultimate and make their ultimate like something like Mantis ult, completely nerf it to the ground. At that point, something else may happen, right? People may start picking different healers, but as the situation is right now, unless and until they completely rework these 2 heroes, Cloak Dagger and Luna Snow, there really is no point in picking any other hero, right? And Loki is always gonna be broken, absolutely broken. Loki is banned a lot of times, but when he's open, he's just gonna be broken, right? His ultimate, they can increase its ult charge, they can increase its duration, they can try to experiment with his lamps, whatever, but his core kit just makes him absolutely broken. Now, this is not something the other healers enjoy. Let's take an example at Jeff. Invis, I think, is not the only healer who's receiving a lot of hate right now. Jeff is also getting an insane amount of hate, especially after his rework, because before his rework, Jeff was like the 3rd healer you play when you want to flank enemies. You just take Jeff, you go to the back line, and you constantly just disturb them, and it brought some value to the team, right? It was not useless, because that Jeff flank used to distract their backline, and it was kind of like Psylocke. Okay, kind of like Psylocke, kind of like any other flank hero, you go back, you disturb their backline. Jeff was working fine, but then they decided to make Jeff into a healer, and unfortunately, because his ultimate is not as good as Invis or as Cloak Dagger. This change just ended up making Jeff even worse. Now he does not heal as much as other healers, and his ultimate is absolutely useless in a team fight. I won't call it useless because you can get a few kills, but then let's say your enemy has a Luna, right? And your enemy team is like immune for 20-21 seconds on a Luna ult. What are you going to do with a Jeff? The max to max, you can try to eat a few of their their team enemies, and then you can try to throw them off the map. That only works if the map allows you to throw them off the map. And most of the time what happens is when people see you have a Jeff, they normally take Penny or someone to just counter you the whole game, so you cannot even complete your ult. It has become almost impossible to play Jeff now, and it has become so bad that if you are playing Jeff in a ranked game, people say that you're trolling, when it's not really true. Because Jeff, a lot of people play Jeff in season 0, season 1. There are people who actually main Jeff, and now because of this rework, Jeff has become so useless. Just think about those guys who used to main Jeff because they love this hero, they like playing this hero. Now suddenly they cannot play their favorite hero because he has become absolutely garbage compared to Luna. And this was not really a big problem in season 1 or season 2. Because in season 1 and season 2, people were playing different kinds of healers. You saw people picking Mantis, we saw people picking Adam, we saw people picking Jeff, Rocket, right? People were experimenting. And back then, Luna and Cloak Dagger were even more broken because you could stack Cloak Dagger's heals, and Luna's ultimate was like absolutely incredibly fast. You could get it really fast. Even back then, people were playing different healers. But what happened is, over time, people matured, people learned about the game, and now they know that playing a character like Jeff, playing a character like Adam Warlock just puts your team in a disadvantage. So they will start screaming the second you pick these healers. And I think this is not fun to be a healer main. If you are forced to play a single hero every single game, it becomes even more worse if you don't like these meta heroes, if you don't like playing these heroes. Like Luna is not the easiest healer to play. You actually need skills to play Luna, right? You have to have a good aim. You have to have good awareness who to, put your buff, your ice crystal on. You need to have, a good map awareness. And overall, Luna is like someone who plays DPS well can play Luna well. But that's not true for most healer players, right? Most healer players don't want to actively start shooting at people because they are playing healers because they like the laid back style, right? Sitting at the back, healing your team, playing it safe. But with Luna, it's a very different kind of playstyle. You have to actively aim at people, and I'm seeing this happening a lot because people are forced to play Luna now. I'm getting Luna on teams which cannot aim. I'm literally standing right in front of them, and their heals are going left, right, over me, under me. They're not hitting me. And when I'm moving around, it's even worse because they cannot hit a single heal. It's actually sad because this guy probably doesn't want to play Luna, but he's forced to play Luna because the other healers are just not good enough. So if we take a look at Marvel Rival situation right now, okay, these are all the heroes that we have. Let's take a look at all the healers that we have in the game right now, okay? Adam Warlock, after his buffs, is pretty much usable only in 3 healer comps. You still cannot run this guy with 2 healers. He's gonna go in B tier. I would have placed him in D tier without his nerfs, but with his buffs, he kinda sits in B tier because his ultimate now with 3 healers kinda works, right? Cloak Dagger has went straight to S tier. This character has went straight to S tier. She was not S tier, but now she's absolutely insane, right? Her ultimate charges like one of the fastest healing ults in the entire game. It charges really fast. So yeah, but definitely counterable, but definitely goes to S tier. Then we have Jeff, goes to D tier. This guy, he was B in season 0, season 1. Now he's D. If you're a Jeff player, it's like a really sad time for you. Okay, Luna Snow again, S tier. This character is not dropping from S tier. I don't know what Marvel Rivals are gonna do, what the devs are gonna do, but this character is not dropping from S tier unless and until they rework her entire kit, right? Then comes Loki, S tier, just because of his ultimate mechanics. He may not be the best healer, but Loki Luna is still one of the strongest combinations in the entire game. You get like 1 minute of unkillability. No one can kill you, which is absolutely insane for holding down teams, right? For holding down sides. Mantis, B tier. The damage buff is good, but once again, her ultimate and her healing just absolutely falls short compared to these guys. She's in Adam territory, and normally you will play Adam and Mantis. Mantis again, B tier. Let's look at the other healers, right? Do we have any other healers here? Obviously, we should have, right? Invis Woman, I would have put her in A tier. You know what? Let's put her in A tier. Now, she was S tier. She was S tier, but after this guy came out, after Blade came out, yeah, Invis has fallen down. You can literally kill Invis inside her ult with a Blade ult. You just have to save your Blade ult. That made Invis so much weaker than she was before. And then there's Rocket. I'm gonna place Rocket. You know what? I'm gonna place Rocket in C tier. He works only in low elo. In high elos, you ult instantly, enemies are gonna destroy your ult. It's a useless ult. At most, it's gonna save your team for 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, the enemy is gonna destroy your ult and it's not gonna exist anywhere. If the enemies have a flank, then your rest beacon is going to be destroyed every time you put it down, it's gonna be destroyed. He is relevant only in penny team comps. Other than penny team comps, no bro. I would rather have Adam than this guy. That is the situation of healers in Marvel Rivals. Now, a team can only have 2 healers, right? And sometimes you have 3 healer comps. 3 healer comps is absolutely annoying to go against, but you can have 3 healer comps, right? And look at this. We have exactly 3 heroes in the S tier. Oh, where's Ultron? Where's Ultron? Oh shit, I didn't put Ultron, right? Does this tier list even have Ultron? Am I blind? Oh, yeah, here it is. Ultron. Ultron is gonna sit with Jeff. Sorry, Rocket. Ultron is gonna sit with Rocket. He's like a very, very, very niche healer. Very niche healer. You know what? I'm gonna put him in B tier. I'm gonna put him in B tier because this trio only works when you have 2 more healers. This is the triple healer part out here. Any third healer you want on your team is gonna be one of these. The situation is many people are playing triple healers right now, and the standard is you play 2 healers, right? And we have exactly 3 heroes in S tier in the healer class. So obviously when you're going to play the game, people will want you to pick one of these 3 guys. They don't want you to pick any of these. They don't want you. Why? Because these 3 exist, right? If the enemy is gonna pick one of these 3 and your team picks one of these guys, you're gonna be at a disadvantage the whole game. And this is not really a problem with the DPS characters, because all the DPS characters, some may have a few weaknesses, right? But all of them do really good damage if you know how to play them, right? But with healers, it's totally different. Like a Punisher and a Hawkeye may not be in the same tier list, but if a guy knows how to play Punisher and if a guy knows how to play Hawkeye, both of them are gonna get value. But for healers, the situation is you may be a very good Jeff, right? But you're never going to get as much value as a Luna, or you're never gonna get as much value as a Cloak Dagger because your ult itself is gonna be pretty useless. And that is why all the healer players are forced to play these 3 guys. Nobody is picking these guys, right? This has created such a toxic environment that every single game, you have to go up against one of these healers, at least one of these healers. And in worst case situations, you're going against all 3 of them on the enemy team and nobody is dying. It's literally very, very frustrating because nobody dies in the enemy team. They have so much healing. They are popping one healer ult after the another continuously the whole game. Every 20-30 seconds there is a healer ult going off, and you cannot take the objective. You cannot kill anybody on the team. Then your team also picks 3 healers. Then nobody on your team is dying. Nobody on the enemy team is dying. It becomes a very frustrating game. A very lengthy, very frustrating game, and I think it's not fun. I think it's not fun. In a hero shooter, if you're shooting people, they should die. If they are not dying, even after you use up all of your kit, even if you use up your ultimate, they're not dying, then something is very wrong. Okay, something is very wrong. And because Luna and Cloak Dagger's ultimates got nerfed, what people did, they just started going 3 healers. I think the situation is pretty bad right now, and the situation is such that if they nerf these guys, people may start going 4 healers, which will make it even worse. Honestly speaking, this situation is pretty bad. I don't know how Marvel Rivals devs are going to fix this. Okay, how they are going to balance all of these heroes, all of these healers, so they feel as strong as these guys. They have 2 options: either nerf these guys so they fall in line with these heroes, or either buff all of these heroes so they all feel similar to these 3 healers. They really don't have any other option. Okay, and even if they do that, even if they nerf these 3 guys, maybe in the near future we start seeing 4 healers in one team, which will be like really crazy, really crazy. So the situation is pretty bad, and I think this is resulting in a really toxic gaming environment, especially for healer players, especially for support players, because they're being forced to play these 3 healers, right? And everyone else also feels much more toxic because nobody is dying. The meta is shifting to healer meta, and healer meta is really boring to play against. So what do you guys think of this situation? What do you guys think Marvel Rivals devs can do to fix this? Because as of right now, this is not okay. This is not okay, right? If as a DPS main, I am free to pick even Widow if I know how to play her. I'm free to pick Bucky. I'm free to pick Spider-Man if I know how to play him. Nobody's gonna complain. People will probably say that Spider-Man is off meta, but if I start playing well, they are not gonna complain, right? But people will 100% complain if you pick Jeff, and even if you're playing well, they're still gonna complain. They'll keep shouting on you the whole game that your ult is useless. And you will feel like you are being a burden to the team. So something needs to be done here. I don't know what Marvel Rivals devs are gonna do, because at this point, their ultimates, like Adam Warlock got a really good buff to his ultimate, right? I think if Adam's ultimate starts healing people, even if they don't die, like when he pops his ultimate, he just absolutely throws out a burst of healing, okay? He heals everyone around him, makes them full HP, and then everyone he revives also gets full HP. Then probably Adam will come close to these healers. Close. He will still be in A tier, because these guys can make your team unkillable for 20 seconds, right? Adam cannot do that yet. But he will at least come up to A tier. As of right now, he's not good enough. And Rocket, I think if his beacon cannot be destroyed, or if his beacon gets like, 5 times the HP it has right now, so it takes a really, really long time to destroy, then Rocket will probably come in the same tier as these guys. Jeff, I don't know, man. Jeff's ultimate has to completely change. As it is right now, you cannot really do anything to Jeff. But that's the situation. Ultron's ultimate needs to last longer. They can reduce his damage, they can increase his healing, and they can make it last longer so that he can support his team for as long as Luna or Cloak Dagger are doing. And he also needs to be like a little bit more tanky, because as soon as this guy pops his ult, he's gone. Everyone shoots him, he's just dead. So it's a very tricky situation right now. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think that Marvel Rivals devs should do? Do you play any of these healers? Have you been facing the same problem as this guy? Okay, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.